Good evening. My name is Mark. For those of you that don't know me, I am a specialist child abuse investigator. I run a company called The Guardian. And I just wanted to comment. Last night I saw so many people chatting around the Minister of Education and what she had to say with regard to schools going back. And for me, there's been very little said about the preparation of children going back. So we're preparing the schools, we're making sure they're ready. They need to watch for temperature, they need to wash their hands, etc., etc., etc. But here's the challenge. We're going to take a whole bunch of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, even up to 15, 16-year-olds. And on the first day of school, we're going to give them a mask, tell them to wash their hands, and tell them to be functional at school. But for all of their lives up until this point, we've told them they have to stand up when an adult walks in. We've told them they have to shake hands. We've told them that they have to be social. They can't sit there, be sullen and quiet in the corner. And all of a sudden, all of that is going to change. I think not teaching your child to behave the way they're supposed to behave when they go back to school now is almost irresponsible. We need to be taking time now to make our kids used to wearing a mask when they're at school. We need to take them, especially the little 6, 7, and 8, 9-year-olds, give them a mask whilst they're playing outside in the garden. So let them learn how to play with a mask for an hour a day. Make sure if they're doing homework that you're doing your homeschooling. Make sure that they sit there writing in their books with their mask on for an hour a day. Get them to wash their hands. Wash their hands every half an hour. You need to change the mind map that they currently understand. When they get to school currently, boys and girls, it doesn't matter, my little ones, they arrive at school and they're going and hugging their friends. Where I tell my little boys, stand up when an adult walks in the room. If it's an adult man, get up, go to him and shake his hand. We have got to unteach what we taught them so that they can learn the new stuff. So we've got to unteach and then teach the new stuff. That's basically our responsibility. And I think failing to do that is going to be where the tacky hits the tar, where our ability to get through this virus fails or not. It must be very interesting to note that schools are not a part of any industry going back in level 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 because they are such an enigma. They are going to be the game changer. They are going to be the thing that changes the numbers, our curve. All of that is going to happen within schools. If you're not teaching your kids this stuff now, then rather tell them now, listen, no more seeing granny and grandpa for the rest of your life. Because if they're going to school and you haven't given them or taught them the tools in terms of how they must behave, it's all good and well going, oh, the school needs to meet certain criteria. The school can meet all the criteria possible, but if your child doesn't know how to behave, what is going to happen is that they're going to behave in what they have been told, what they have learned. And if nobody, specifically mom and dad, has taken the time to go, listen, this is what it feels like to wear a mask. This is what it feels like when you're running around outside to be wearing a mask. Every half an hour, you got to go and wash your hands. If you don't know how to count to 20, so you don't know what 20 seconds is, sing happy birthday to you twice whilst washing your hands before you wash the soap off. Make sure the water is warm. If you're feeling sick, tell somebody as soon as you possibly can. And social distancing. Teach them social distancing. Create games if they're little around what social distancing is. If they're older and they're going to the spa with you or they're going to Checkers, make sure that you are so stringent around the fact that they need to be staying 1.5 meters away from people. Every single country in the world, bar none, that has seen this thing to be successful has ensured masks, cleansing, and social distancing. You have to be teaching your child that because it runs in the face of everything that they have learned up until now. Even if they're at 16, 17, 18 and you look at them and they're telling you that they know everything, they can't know unless you cause them to practice it. The mind map has to change. With my kids, an adult walks in the room and by default they stand up. Well, that's fine, but don't go over and shake uncle's hand. Don't go over and give auntie a hug. Don't go to the teacher and give her a hug. It's okay to tell her about your news, but do it at 1.5 meters. To an 8, 9, or 10-year-old, what is 1.5 meters? Do they even understand what that is? We've got to be taking the time to make sure that our kids are safe.